a.m. and let's see, should have brought my stand. Okay. Ooh. Trying to get set up, sorry. Thank goodness nobody's in here. One person, they have earpods in. So, who's gonna walk with me today? Let's see. If nobody shows up, I'm turning this thing off and I'm gonna get some run time in. All right, so, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday morning. It is 7:02 and it's time to work out. Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up this morning. Let's see. All right, we got somebody in here. Good morning. Let's walk, let's get healthy, let's do this together. Said if nobody shows up, I'm gonna turn this off and get some run time in. Once I get on a regular routine, I may or may not be on here later this week. Oh, good morning, Claudia. Middle Georgia, awesome. I wanted this to be like a platform where we could get healthy together, as well as if y'all have any naturopathic or holistic medicine questions, I would be happy to answer that. And we can talk about stressors, we can talk about just about anything. Why it is so good to get exercise daily, detoxing. I've been studying a lot on Lyme disease lately. You have fibromyalgia. Oh. Been diagnosed since 95. Okay. I've got to bring my glasses. I can see a lot better with my glasses on, and I forget them every time. Well, sometimes fibromyalgia is a co-infection. And I'm not saying that this is true. POTS is a heart disease. Yes, I know. But I walk almost daily. That is so good. I'm not sure if you have done any of the things, like tried detoxing, what supplements you take, how much water you take, but that is debilitating. There can be several causes. Emotional trauma is one. At least a mile to two. That is excellent. That is excellent. Yeah. I have to drink half gallon, yeah. It's advisable to drink a gallon a day, but do what you can. Fibromyalgia, there's a lot of causes. Emotional trauma, believe it or not, is one big one. Lyme disease, a lot of times, emotional trauma and abuse. Lyme disease is also, fibromyalgia is a co-infection. Mono in college, okay, yeah, and it can settle in places in your body. That's true. I don't know if you have any other symptoms or if it's a secondary issue, but Lyme disease it's called the great imitator. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a big cause. Emotional, physical, verbal abuse causes more problems in our world today, in our society, illness, addiction, etc., then people understand. And because our society tends to treat illness very with just what we see physically, and don't peel back the label and kind of investigate the whole situation, it's hard to get down to the root and actually heal people. Yeah, a lot of people have, well, if you are bit by a tick that's infected by Lyme, you'll notice there will be redness, swelling, fever, usually, but arthritis, fibromyalgia, a lot of those things are co-infections of Lyme. Usually, and it's very hard to get diagnosed by Lyme. You should look up the Lyme crime if anybody's interested in that, if anybody's had to deal with Lyme. Back in 1994 in Dearborn, Michigan, they actually changed the way that Lyme testing was done because the creators of a Lyme vaccine and the testing were trying to decrease the amount of registered Lyme people, that's the new term, because they wanted their vaccine to look successful. So it's very hard to get diagnosed with Lyme. You have to meet certain criteria that almost, I mean, there's a ton of people that have it, but they won't get diagnosed with it because of the way the disease operates and the way that the testing is set up. Yeah, it's very hard to get diagnosed. Lyme is a tricky disease, and it's a virus. It runs hand in hand with like HIV, herpes, those kind of things. My little brain was actually investigating the link to Lyme and COVID not long ago, but the way the disease operates is it sheds its skin, and it will create, when it sheds its skin, it will create a distraction for your immune system. Your immune system will have a response of going after the shedding, the outer layer, instead of the actual disease. And it weakens your immune system to the point where you end up with an autoimmune, a secondary infection like lupus, Lou Gehrig's, fibromyalgia. You'll end up with all these secondary illnesses because your body's not actually fighting the disease, it's getting stronger. Your body's trying to fight off the blebbing, the osps, the outer shedding of the spirochetes. Yeah, and so it is hard to get diagnosed with Lyme. There's a lot of people that have it that can't get diagnosed. One of the goofy requirements is that you have an arthritic knee. So you can have a ton of other symptoms, but if you don't have one arthritic knee, they will turn you away and say, no, it's not Lyme disease. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's a pharmaceutical company thing from 1994, Dearborn, Michigan. GlaxoSmithKline took over the testing, basically. You have RA in both. Well, if you're still up walking and you're still getting your water, and I'm not sure what you do for supplements or how you eat, but you're doing the very best thing you can by getting your exercise, especially if you have a heart condition. And if you think it's if you think some of these things, these health issues are related to trauma, then there are some exercises that you can do to help release trapped emotions. I am so thankful that we live in the day we live in, because people are not only making discoveries and headways with holistic medicine, things like ancient traditional medicines like Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, but these things can be proven now. There are machines that can prove, things like how your frequency is doing, and where you have trapped emotions, and And yes, trauma builds up from childhood if we don't deal with it. And so we have to release it. And if not, we end up with illness, addiction. The I moments. I have a eating disorder. I don't get hungry. That's usually, that is. I'll go through that when I get stressed. And I think a lot of women, well, I don't think, it's a proven fact, a lot of women who have dealt with trauma, they can either not eat, end up with bulimia, anorexia, or they embody dysmorphia, or they overeat. They eat their emotions. Men do that too, but it's more common in women because women are emotionally driven creatures. God made them more emotional so that they would, care for their family and be self-sacrificing and things like that. It's just that it's gotten out of balance. It's gotten way out of balance. So is anybody else walking with me? I hope so. I hope there's some folks on here walking. I'm so proud of myself. I ran 3 miles day before yesterday. Woohoo! You've lost 25 pounds this year. Awesome. Walking is very slimming. And for someone who is, especially for women, if you look at how God created us and, back in the day before we had cars, we had to do a lot of walking. Women had to tote water from wells. Women had to tote children around, walk to the market, stuff like that. Walking is very slimming. And women these days that, a lot of us have a sedentary lifestyle where we drive cars, we work at an office desk, or we work sitting on our bottoms a lot. And that belly develops, whether it's from having children or not enough exercise. But walking is so slimming. And a lot of women later in life that don't make themselves move end up having to have hip replacements. They have a lot of back trouble, they have a lot of hip trouble, and it's all because they just didn't take responsibility for their health and get moving. Walking is very peaceful, yeah. Oh, I'm happy to chat with you, yeah. Yeah, walking is very peaceful. I like to run. I'm trying to build more muscle. I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight in the past year, and I'm trying to gain it back in muscle instead of just being, too thin. And running helps build muscle, and I lift weights like every day. 40 minutes walk, run time, and then weightlifting. But if all you can do is walk for 40 minutes, it is so helpful to your health. Walk is very slimming. You'll lose that middle. You'll lose that weight on the hips, the butt. Running will build more muscle. I love being outside too. I've planted, me and my kids have planted flowers. Can't wait for summer. I like to run outside in the summer. Sweating, I like to sweat. That's a really good way to deal with anxiety, stress, pressures of life, is to sweat. Get moving and sweat. Your guy loves a tight butt. I need to do more glute exercises. I've just started. Like I said, when I started losing weight, I was working out and I kind of lost everything. Got too skinny, so started doing weights a year ago. And I love the fact that I'm finally getting some meat on my legs. Oh, I've got 7 children. Yeah, they range from 24 to 25 to 4. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Another thing women can do if they're walking is twist. Like if I'm not on here, I'm a whole lot more active in my walk or my run. But if you will just add a little twist to your walk, you'll lose that middle real fast. Yeah. A retired teacher and nanny. That's awesome. Yeah. I have a little flock of kids. You have a YouTube channel. Oh, will you read children's books? I will definitely, after this video, if you'll leave a comment, I'll definitely go look your channel up. And that way, maybe I can sit my son down and we can watch some of your videos. That sounds like fun. Yeah, thanks. That'd be great. I like to read books to my little ones. I try to pick him up, my smallest one's 4, I try to pick him up a book a week. Sometimes I pick him up 2 or 3. And have a calming effect on children. That's good. Yeah. That's really good. A lot of kids today have ADHD and are not calm. My son's pretty calm though. He's real compliant. He's really good. Pretty chill. He loves to show out. The series How to Catch is great. Okay, what's that about? I read myself to calm. I read my Bible. I read books on all kinds of stuff. I read for school. So I like to read myself. What is the series How to Catch about? So I just want to, how to catch a dinosaur. Okay. Kind of like the, To the Moon series. There was I Love You to the Moon and Back, and then there was another series that actually had a caterpillar in it, and I can't remember the name. But yeah, okay, How to Catch a Dinosaur. How to Catch the Tooth Fairy. Okay, cute. That sounds cute. So anyway, I'm going to talk a minute on some issues that really do affect our society that I've wanted to touch on a minute, and that's heavy metals. The hungry caterpillar, that is it. The hungry caterpillar, yes. That's the series I was talking about. So a lot of us have a hard time with energy, and we don't realize that whenever heavy metals bind to our receptors, and they can come in many forms. So I'm sure many of you who are even interested in holistic health know that some heavy metals are found in vaccinations, but we can also get them in foods that we eat every day. We can get them in our supplements. If we're taking a supplement that is hard compressed, they're using mercury, lead, nickel to compress those vitamins. So let's just say you're taking an over-the-counter multivitamin once a day. Hey, Heather, good morning. Oh, y'all don't have to do the workout. You can just listen to me ramble. So as far as heavy metals go, when you find yourself not having enough energy, or when you're dealing with ADHD, things like children with ADHD, things like that, having the ability to control your anxiety, having the extra energy to work out, sometimes we are overloaded with heavy metals. And we don't realize that we've been consuming them. Some of the most natural type people that I know have a hard time with energy. And I did touch on this before. There's a lot of people with a B vitamin mutation where they cannot process folate. So liquid B is good, but if you're looking at not having enough energy to work out, whatever age you are, you should possibly look at a heavy metal detox. And bentonite clay is one of the best. But those heavy metals, such as mercury, aluminum, they're in fast foods. You would think, why would heavy metals be in fast foods? Many of the plastics that we use to eat out of, they contain heavy metals. Of course, we've heard about the cookware stuff, aluminum, lots of aluminum and stuff like that, lots of mercury. There's mercury in the new light bulbs that emit fumes. So if you're dealing with heavy metals and you don't realize why you don't have enough energy, you may need to do a heavy metal detox. If you eat out a lot, you are actually consuming heavy metals. Nickel is used as a binder in many of the oils and fats and hydrogenated oils. Peanut butter. Most people would not think, oh, my peanut butter's got nickel in it. It's not going to be listed on the ingredients. So way down the start line, when they start to process this stuff and make this stuff, and they take a liquid oil at room temperature, and then they need to solidify it. That makes your hydrogenated fats. They use nickel for the hydrogen to attach itself to the liquid and to solidify it. So then down the line, you think you're just eating peanut butter, or you've given your kids peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for years and years. Now, yes, MHFR, yes, you have that gene mutation. All right, Heather, so there we go. Good conversation. So a methylated, there is one, I need to put it up. There's a really good liquid B that has all your Bs and the methylated folate. It comes in and it's nasty, but if you're having trouble with energy, that might be a thing that you need to put into place. But the heavy metal detox is way more of a thing than people realize. And if you are ever in question about what your heavy metal load is, you can have your blood tested. Now, sadly, they have raised the limits on what is safe, what is acceptable from, say, 20 years ago. I had my son's blood tested about 20 years ago. And what was safe then has been increased 10 times today. So, yeah, heavy metals come in many shapes, sizes, lots of out-to-eat fast food. So, kids, they are in dryer sheets. They are in lots of detergents. They are in soaps. They are in lotions. They are in almost every product that we use or consume. Okay, well, here's the question, Heather. And this is where people have to be a little bit more mindful or do their due diligence. So let's just say the peanut butter that you're eating is considered all natural. It would be what type of oils that they're mixing with the peanuts, with the crushed peanuts, because peanuts themselves, when you crush them up, it's going to have like this really thick, dry paste. So is the oil that they're putting with it an organic oil, or is it a hydrogenated oil? And since they've removed the partially hydrogenated and the hydrogenated fats from almost all consumer products in the United States, unless you were reading labels 20 years ago, you don't really know. But a bag of potato chips, hydrogenated oils. French fries, when you go out to eat, hydrogenated oils. Yes, peanut butter, if it's like just the regular Jiffy kind, hydrogenated oils. But because they use things like lead and nickel in the process to make those hydrogenated oils, not only are you getting a solidified oil that resembles candle wax and is almost impossible to burn, you're also getting metal toxicity. Crazy, huh? Palm oil sustainably sourced. Okay, well, that's a great example. So palm oil sustainably sourced would mean that it was sourced or raised sustainably. How was it processed? Because there's different steps. And so they really just jump through loopholes and add or take away. I don't know what brand you're talking about, and I don't know how it was processed. They say that, a lot of fish have the heavy metals, and I don't think it's as much as the fish as it is all of the other products that we are using and consuming. Because like everyday foods, if you go out to eat and you get some fried chicken strips and some French fries, okay, that's something common that a lot of kids of ours eat. Heavy metals. You would never think that there's going to be lead, mercury, or nickel in your kids' French fries or chicken strips. But it is because they fry it in hydrogenated oils. And I'm not going to say I don't ever eat out. And I'm not going to say that I'm like the queen of clean eating. I eat pretty clean compared to a lot of people. I'm not going to eat like a rabbit. I'm not going to restrict myself from all interaction with other people and not go out to eat. But I do cook for myself or my kids. I cook a lot, and I try to eat at home a lot. That way I can kind of control how many toxins that I'm getting. But if you're having a hard time working out, if you're having a hard time having energy, you may want to look at what toxins that are around you in your home that you're consuming, and the heavy metals are a big one. Yeah, coconut oil. Coconut oil is a good one, yes. Coconut oil is better topically than consumed, and the skinny on coconut oil. Okay, so it has those medium chain fatty acids, and I think I did a video on this about 6 months ago. Consuming coconut oil has been kind of a thing for the last 10 years. You really want to watch that, because people who have any type of liver condition or cholesterol issue will eventually have a buildup of cholesterol and or fatty liver disease and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, because coconut oil is a fully saturated fat. And if you're not kind of look at the way that people where the coconuts are grown lived primitively. If you're not working out constantly to process it, if you're not getting a lot of sunshine, if you're not, the coconut oil is going to build up. Safflower oil. Hey, bless Mama by Jesus. Safflower oil is truly the best. If you start combining oils and you start looking at like their amino acids and you start looking at their saturated versus unsaturated content, coconut oil and almond oil really are at the or olive oil. But see, olive oil, you can't cook with it. So if you're looking for a clear, clean oil, safflower oil really is the best. But it's hard to get. It's hard to come by. So almond oil or even walnut oil would be number 2. So I'm on 28 minutes now. And I don't know what y'all have planned to do today. It's overcast here. But when I get off here, is any of you ladies that are watching wanting to tackle bat wings? So I've been trying to do the whole, this flab here that women get. And I work out and my arms are pretty cut, but I want to tackle the bat wings. And woo, those exercises are not easy. Ordered a gallon of safflower oil off Amazon. There you go. Yeah, man, I'll have to like construct a few different ones. I wanted to do some workout videos a while back, and I just did not I had other things going on. I couldn't keep the commitment. So that is the next thing. Bat wing videos, because I think a lot of women, once you reach the age of like 35, that stuff, it just starts to not be as attractive. And when you're working out, trying to get in shape, that's just one thing I want to see go. So I started that, and man, they're not easy at all. My bingo wings are horrible. There's some wall Pilates exercises, and then there's some that you can do with 2.5-pound weights. And I'm not going to say they're easy. I mean, I've been lifting weights for over a year, so I thought I'll start out with the 2.5 pounds, and that'll be, no, not easy at all. Yes, 175 pounds lost, Claudia, that is excellent, man. That is excellent. But see, when you lose that much weight, if you're not lifting weights to put the muscle back in place, you end up with a lot of flab. So just keep that in mind. And if you're over the age of 40, which Claudia, I know you are, bone density can be rebuilt. That is something that is not talked about in a lot of, like, in medicine. Once you hit the age of like 60, they're going to automatically assume that you have the potential, or maybe you do have the potential, for osteoporosis. So you're going to get a calcium supplement, which is loaded full of heavy metals, instead of just drinking almond milk and lifting weights. That is the best thing you can do as you age to help build your bone density. You can rebuild bone density. Your body is made to heal itself. If it could not heal itself, you would not heal broken bones. You would not grow a scab over a wound. Your body is made to heal itself. It is a computer, and if you give it what it needs, if you give it the right system to function on, it will rebuild. So, and bone density is something that you start to lose at the age of 40. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Heather. Lots of people, man, I don't know, but like that whole coronavirus thing sent the world into a tailspin. There were more divorces, there were more people committing suicide, there were more mental health issues, and more addictions than ever before. So just shutting down society and not letting people be productive did way more damage than the coronavirus itself. And yeah, a lot of people gained weight. A lot of people weren't able to get out and be as active as they were before. Gyms shut down, any public places. And then, of course, putting the mask on. If you had any type of breathing issues, asthma, whatever, you know, if you can't breathe, you don't feel like exercising, you can't catch your breath. There was just a lot of side effects. Man, addiction went through the roof during coronavirus. People lost hope. Mental illness went through the roof. I just don't see, not a whole lot came out of that. Not a whole lot came out of that at all. Keeping kids from, going to school, learning. Lots of kids fell behind. Many people lost their homes, their jobs. I mean, wow. Intended or not, it devastated our society, our health, our mental health. Many people, oddly enough, the amount of domestic violence during coronavirus, more than doubled. People were in close quarters when they weren't used to being. And so, yeah. Sure thing, Claudia. Don't forget to give me your link, please, after this video is over, so we can look at your reading videos. Hey, y'all, as small creators, if you see somebody comment and they say they have a channel, go hit them up and subscribe for them. That would be, I'm all about supporting one another, supporting local, supporting small. Definitely about women supporting other women. Whole lot of women haters out there. No need for all that. I think it's a beautiful thing for women to support other women. Used to, back in tribal days, you had a support team, whether it was through childbirthing or just life. Women supported other women because that perpetrated the sustainability of our society. Now, women are backstabbing, gossiping, lying, jealous. It is insane. And I just hate to see that. I hate it all the way around. So if you see a fellow supporter on here, male or female, go subscribe to their channel, please. Support each other. Yeah. Definitely should lift other women up. I don't care what their shape, what their size, what their eye color, what their hair color, what their skin color is, what they do for a living. I mean, we should just have this very positive attitude to support other women, lift other women up. Not to, you know, I'm not saying like in a narcissistic way. I'm just saying like we should be complimentative. We should be encouraging, you know. Women are just not that way anymore. They're very competitive. They're very jealous. They're very angry. They're very gossipy. And the spirit of Jezebel permeates the society. And I would just rather not have those people around me at all. So I think I've perfected the art of cutting people out. Toxic people are no longer allowed around me. And all that jealousy and gossip and strife and stuff, no. That stuff affects your frequency, it affects your health. And that's why the Bible says speak life. You know, the power of life and death are in the tongue. So that's why it says speak life. You speak this stuff into existence. You can take a child and tell them they're bad. Speak it over their life, they're gonna be bad. You know? Because you put that thought and you put that out there, you put that energy out there for them to absorb. And there's no reason for that, especially grown adults. We have a society that is just really and truly broke down. It's like grown adults who act like children. Grown adults who are hating on other people and who are just always out there gossiping and striving. And it doesn't matter how good or bad you do, they're going to talk about you. Learn to cut them people off. Cut them out. Don't take on negativity. I don't care if it's your family, your friends. Just be like, not having it. It not only affects your emotions, but it affects your health. Good morning, Jenny Pelk. You're exercising. Yay. Yay. I do more than what I can do on here. So like, I don't know what time you joined in, but like I'll walk for 40 minutes. If I'm not having a live day, I'll run, and then I do weights. But I just haven't figured out a way to do live and do weights without it being corny. But I am gonna do some bat wing videos. They hurt, oh, they hurt, so I know they must be good. Yeah, so earlier Claudia was talking about possible early childhood trauma or trauma from her 20s that she believes may contribute to things in her later years like heart issues, fibromyalgia, and that is one reason why I started working out, was to just be able to process some things. And of course, like whether you're working in a garden, whether you're working outside, whether you're on a treadmill, you start to think about these things. And it helps to clear your head, but it also helps to release trapped emotions. And there are some definite exercises you can do, because trapped emotions in women are the number one, depression is the number one cause of illness in women in our society. Let's start there. Depression doesn't just happen. It happens slowly over time, usually due to consistent trauma. We end up with a pattern of behavior where from childhood we accept certain people and certain things in our life because we've been conditioned to do so since childhood. That stuff builds up over time without a strong support system from other women, family, friends, whatever. We end up taking on things that are not our job to take on. And instead of loving ourselves, giving ourselves self-care, thinking logically about what is and isn't, our job to take on, we give, we love, we accept things we shouldn't, and it builds up into our body. And more people die from lung cancer due to grief than they do of actually smoking. And that's fact. So you have certain places in your body where certain emotional traumas will build up. And I should do a video on that, like where do you hurt? Oh, and there's a book called The Body Keeps Score. And when I get done with this video and I put the description up, I'm going to put a link to that book in the bottom, in the description, because your body definitely keeps score. And you don't realize it because we're not taught that in our society. We have a very toxic society where we allow things we shouldn't. I mean, look at what's going on in the industry of Hollywood and rappers and movie stars and political leaders. And the Bible says that, when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. But it's from the top down. So whether it's something we're consuming that's toxic or people that we're around that's toxic, you have to learn to take care of yourself. You have to learn to process your emotions properly. You have to learn to deal with the things that are your issues, whether it's repentance, changing your lifestyle, cutting people off, whatever it is that you're responsible for. But your body will keep score. If you keep allowing toxic people, places, and things in your life, just like people who drink alcohol, you're going to destroy your liver. Okay? What does recovery, rehab teach you? Change your people, places, and things. So if you continue to allow toxic people to, put you down, destroy your heart, you will end up, it's no lie, broken heart syndrome is a thing. Grief from loss of whatever future you thought you may have had with someone, or grief of loss of a loved one, that will build up in your lungs as lung cancer. Okay, so I've been on here for 42 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and get off since it's a 40-minute deal, and I will put the link in the description box below to The Body Keeps Score when this video processes. I'm going to get off here and do my little rest of my workout, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope you found this information helpful and that you can use it to your benefit. Love y'all.